The medical bay of the salvage freighter Dustborn smelled of antiseptic and recycled air. Burak wiped his hands on a stained cloth, surveying the cramped space that doubled as his workshop and occasional infirmary. He wasn't a doctor, not even close, but 3 years scavenging the outer reaches had taught him enough field medicine to keep himself alive. That knowledge was about to be tested. The creature lying on his examination table shouldn't have been alive. Burak had found her drifting in an escape pod near the debris field of what looked like a warship, or what remained of one. The vessel had been torn apart with such violence that chunks of hull plating floated for kilometers in every direction. Whatever battle had occurred here had been catastrophic. She was humanoid, mostly. Tall, nearly 7 feet, with skin that shimmered between silver and pale blue depending on the light. Her hair, if it could be called that, flowed like liquid mercury, now matted with something that might have been blood. It was darker than human blood, almost purple. 4 elongated marks crossed her torso, deep enough that Burak could see the strange luminescence of her internal biology. "Okay," he muttered to himself, pulling on surgical gloves. "Just like patching a hull breach. Find the leak. Seal it up." Her eyes fluttered open. 3 of them, he realized with a start. 2 where a human's would be, and a third centered slightly above, in the middle of her forehead. They were the color of distant stars, silver-white and ancient. "Don't move," Burak said gently, reaching for his medical scanner. "You're badly hurt." "I'm going to help you." The alien woman tried to speak, but only a rasping sound emerged. Her hand, 6 fingers, he noted, reached weakly toward him, then fell back. "Save your strength," Burak continued, working quickly. The scanner gave him readings he didn't fully understand, but the basics were clear enough. Massive trauma, severe fluid loss, multiple organs damaged. By all rights, she should be dead. He worked for hours. His supplies were limited. Trauma foam, synthetic skin grafts, broad-spectrum antibiotics that might or might not work on alien physiology. He did what he could, muttering a constant stream of reassurance, more for his own benefit than hers. "You picked a good ship to crash near," he said, carefully sealing one of the wounds with a dermal regenerator. "Well, good is relative. The Dustborn isn't much, but she's got a working med bay. And I'm stubborn. My sister Melissa always said I was too stubborn to quit anything, even when I probably should." The alien's third eye focused on him with an intensity that made him pause. "Melissa runs a colony clinic on Kepler 442b, Burak continued, falling back into his nervous habit of talking while working. "She's the real doctor in the family. I just fix ships and occasionally patch up idiots who don't wear their pressure suits properly." He managed a weak smile. "Mostly me. I'm the idiot." Days passed. Burak kept his patient sedated while her body healed. Faster than he'd expected, actually. Whatever her species was, they had remarkable regenerative capabilities. He'd moved her to his own quarters, giving her the bed while he slept in the pilot's chair. On the 4th day, she was sitting up when he entered with a meal supplement. "You shouldn't be," he started. "You saved my life." Her voice was like crystal chimes, musical and layered with harmonics that human vocal cords couldn't produce. She spoke perfect standard, though. "Why?" Burak shrugged, setting down the tray. "You were dying. What else was I supposed to do?" Those 3 eyes studied him with an expression he couldn't read. "Most would have left me, taken the pod's technology, or sold me to the highest bidder." "Yeah, well." Burak scratched the back of his neck. "I'm not most people. How are you feeling? Those wounds were pretty severe." "I will survive. Thanks to you." She moved slowly, testing her range of motion. "I am called Ziraith." "Burak." He extended his hand, then wondered if that was appropriate. She took it. her grip surprisingly gentle despite the obvious strength in those long fingers. "You fight in that battle?" he asked, nodding toward the viewport where the debris field still glittered. Something flickered across her face. Pain, maybe, or rage. "I ended it. Must have been some fight. Looked like a whole fleet got torn apart out there." "There was a fleet." Zirith's voice went cold. "They attacked my convoy, killed my guards. They did not expect me to survive." Burak frowned. "Your convoy? You some kind of diplomat?" She was quiet for a long moment. "Something like that." Over the next week, Zirith regained her strength. Burak was amazed at her recovery. Those wounds would have killed a human twice over, yet she was moving normally within days. She was quiet, observant, watching everything he did with those unsettling triple eyes. She also helped around the ship, despite his protests. Her understanding of the Dustborn systems was instinctive, almost supernatural. She fixed a malfunctioning gravity plate he'd been struggling with for months in under an hour. "Where'd you learn engineering?" he asked. "I've commanded starships for longer than your species has had written language." Burak laughed, thinking it was a joke. "Right. And I'm the Emperor of the Centauri sector." She didn't laugh back. On the 8th day, his comm system exploded with activity. Dozens of signals, all on emergency channels, all saying the same thing. "All vessels clear the sector. Her Majesty the Queen approaches. Clear the sector immediately." Burak's blood went cold. The Queen. The Queen. Ziraith Karix, eternal sovereign of the Azurian Empire, breaker of the Void Armada, she who walked through stars. The most powerful warrior in known space. The living weapon who had personally destroyed enemy fleets, who had held off entire invasions single-handedly. Legends said she couldn't be killed, that she'd lived for thousands of years. He turned slowly. Ziraith stood in the doorway, and for the first time he saw her clearly, the way she held herself, the unconscious authority in every movement, the power barely contained beneath that calm exterior. "I am." She approached, and despite himself, Burak stepped back. "A search fleet comes for me. They will be here within the hour." "Why didn't you tell me?" "Would you have treated me differently?" Those 3 eyes met his. "You saw someone injured and you helped, not because of who I was, because of who you are." The comm crackled again. A new voice. "Commanding. This is Battlecruiser Infinite Dawn. We seek our queen. If any vessel harbors her—" Zirith touched a panel and her voice filled the channel. Regal. Absolute. "This is the queen. Call off the search. I am well." The response was immediate chaos, relief, questions, demands for coordinates. Before she left, Ziraith placed something in Burak's hand. A crystal, pulsing with inner light. "What's this?" "A favor," she said. "From the most powerful warrior in the galaxy to the one who reminded her why we fight." She smiled, the first genuine smile he'd seen. To protect those who would save a stranger, expecting nothing in return. As her battlecruiser arrived and she prepared to leave, she turned back once more. "Your sister Melissa, the doctor on Kepler 442b. Her clinic needs funding, yes?" Burak could only nod, stunned. "Consider it done. And Burak?" Those 3 eyes gleamed with something ancient and vast. "You have the Queen's gratitude. That is worth more than you know." She left, and Burak stood alone in his salvage freighter, holding a crystal worth more than his ship, his life, everything he'd ever known. He'd saved the most dangerous being in the galaxy, and she'd called him a friend.